Hello everybody and welcome back to Dragonwing Diamonds. I am here today with a WIP and Chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat, I'm just going to tell you about my week, and my goodness, what a hectic week it's been. Let me start off by saying I am so sorry that this is getting up late yet again. These last couple weeks have been very go, so it's just, yeah, things are just crazy, which you'll understand in a moment here, or by the end of this WIP and Chat. So yeah, what I'm working with today, I have my beautiful Enablers Outpost pen that was a gift from my good friend, the Stealthy Crafter. I have my new Galloway's Gallery cover minder, as well as my Mermaid Cavern trash minder. I'm using washi tape from Simply Gilded, and this is pretty Halloweeny ribbons. Oh, excuse me. I am using my brand new Bijou Bliss tray. I do have a small shop haul coming out with that, but I just got shipping notification today for the last bit of it, so I'm going to film part 2 of it with some putty and some glue dots. So I'll get that filmed once those arrive, and then we'll get that posted. And then, speaking of putty and glue dots, if I can grab it, there we go. So I am using Cinnabon glue dots from Oh Snap Crafters Cafe, as well as some putty. We're using Randa's Crafty Corner Hazelnut Cream, and this smells so good. So good. Oh yeah, and the kit we're working on today, I just needed a little snacky after finishing Pumpkin Dragon. We're working on Faces of Faery 17 by Jasmine Beckett-Griffith. So yeah, and this is a kit from Craftibly, and it's like literally, that's it. It's so tiny. I love it. So I just got a couple more colors in this little section because I just did not make it in time before class. And then we'll move on to a different section. So, let's start with this. Okay, how's everybody's week going? Hope everything's going good. Yeah, mine's been very hectic. I know I mentioned it on last week's WIP and Chat, but yeah, basically we were getting a costume put together for our local Comic-Con, which we did finish. We did get it finished, and it looked a lot better than I anticipated it looking, so that was exciting. I need to switch out this glue dot soon. So yeah, I was really impressed with the work we got done in a week, and yeah. But, you know, unfortunately, since we were just straight go all last week, we're both really paying for it this week. And we haven't really had a chance to relax this week yet either, so we are on the exhausted side, which is why this is also getting put up on Thursday instead of Wednesday, because currently it's 10 o'clock on Wednesday, and yeah, I'm finally getting a chance to sit down and film this. So yeah, last week was basically just the costume prep. Let's see, I did Thursday. I spoke to you guys on Thursday. Yeah, so it was just basically costume prep. We were just like working basically nonstop Thursday and Friday, and then the Comic-Con was on Saturday. That was the last of it. So yeah. So Thursday was just kind of like a work day. We just continued pushing on the costume and stuff like that. So not really much to say about Thursday. It was just a day. This one. Sorry, my containers are up there, so I keep bumping stuff. So Friday, we had Shadow's vet appointment. And so, if you may not have listened to that WIP and Chat or haven't been here, or you're new here, because I do know I'm getting new subscribers every day. Words are hard. My cat, Shadow, beginning of August, he had a minor seizure. And so we called the vet, and they're like, well, since he recovered so quick from it, we don't have any immediate concerns at this point. So, they scheduled the next available appointment, which was Friday. So it was, basically almost a month after the episode happened. And and they're like, so yeah, if anything, if he like, if he has another seizure or something happens, then obviously we'll like go for an emergency appointment of him. Thankfully, that did not happen, and we made it to Friday with no other things happening. So we took him to the vet, and vet checked him over. His physical tests were fine. Like, he's a senior cat, of course. He's 15, somewhere around there. He's either 14 or 15, something like that. He was a barn cat, so we don't actually know his age. We just know a general idea of what his age is. So yeah, took him to the vet looked him over, everything seemed fine physically, and they're like, okay, so we're just gonna take some blood work just to double check, make sure like everything's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And like the vet was like, yeah, we checked liver and kidneys and stuff like that, just to make sure, just to like see, because it's like the main organs that would be causing a seizure if that were the case. So yeah, checked over all that. And then, so the appointment was later in the day on Friday, and they're like, well, we'll try to get the results to you today, but if not, you'll hear from us on Monday. And we're like, okay. So then, get him home, because, he was so mad at us. So mad at us. He was, like, yelling the entire trip out there, yelling the entire trip home. And then as soon as we let him out of the carrier, he immediately ran and hid downstairs for a little bit. And then he came back up later, and we gave him some treats, and then he calmed down a bit, and then he started getting snuggly again, being like, okay, I'm okay with this. So yeah, we didn't get the results back on Friday. We did get him back on Monday, and he's got a clean bill of health. Like, his potassium was just a teensy bit low, so they gave him like a vitamin essentially. And yeah, my cat's fine. Like, he just had a seizure just to scare the crap out of me, I guess. But I'm very thankful because, I was very worried about him. He is my little baby, so I'm thankful everything is okay with him. And then just to prove it, he came home and beat up on Jonesy, so. Yeah, so then Friday evening was just constant go. I think like Thursday we stayed up until like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then Friday we stayed up until like 3 o'clock in the morning working, because like Friday was our last working night really, and like we did finish everything by the end of Friday, so that was a good thing. We did it. And then of course, Saturday was the Comic-Con. So on Saturday morning, like, we got up, so like we're running on just very little sleep. And, we're like, okay, and now we're going to go do this thing. So we get ready to go and stuff. And, like, we did a couple of last minute things because there was, where did that just go? I don't know. There was some Velcro we needed to attach. Where did that go? Oh, my God. I love working on snack sizes, but, oh, there it is. But when you go to move stuff, the entire canvas moves. So sorry if I'm giving you guys, like, motion sickness or anything. So yeah, so we had to like just glue some Velcro first thing in the morning. It was onto the pauldrons, because we made like pauldrons out of craft foam. Yeah, we had to glue those on. And yeah, everything held up really well, which I'm very thankful for, because first run of a costume, you never know what's gonna fall off of it at a Comic-Con and stuff. But overall, I was definitely pleased. If you are intrigued about the costume or anything like that, you can head over to Instagram. I did post a picture, because I had a lot of people being like, oh, I want to see. So yeah, I did post a picture over there so everybody could see it. See all of our hard work. Okay, that was the end of that one. Let's move on to the next. So yeah, we had plans to meet up with everybody by like 11, and so we left the house a little bit late. Unfortunately, we were just a tiny bit late. I think we got there more like 11:30 than 11. But yeah, we went to the boys' mom's house, picked them up because we took them to the Comic-Con with us. which ended up working out for her too, because her sister's moving into a new house, so that was the day they were doing all the moving and stuff, so it's like, okay, cool, perfect timing. So yeah, we grabbed the boys, and then we got to the Comic-Con, and then I had to help my friend get in her costume, because she had like a full-on like corset, hoop skirt, a whole shebang. So I helped her get into, well, she got into most of it herself, but I got her the rest of the way there. And then I met up with my other friend, Tori, and yeah, talking and trying to do this at the same time. It does not work sometimes. There we go. Close enough. I'll work around it. It'll be fine. Oh. There. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Easily distracted sometimes. Doing the line. So yeah, we met up with my other friend, and then, my friend Cassie was there with our friends Sam and Dante, and so we had a nice, good group there. And I didn't really, get a chance to actually look at the booths or anything like that. I didn't actually get a chance to do shopping, because, I was, going every which way and making sure, our group wasn't getting too separated and stuff, and, because my friend Tori, she was meeting my friends for the first time, so I want to make sure she was comfortable and stuff like that. So I was just like, okay, well, I was running all over the place, and then by the time they came time, because we had to get the boys back to their mom by a certain time, and by the time it hit that time, Sydney was done. She's like, no, take me home, I'm done with this. And she was just crying and being miserable, and it's like, okay, well, she's gonna need a nap, and if he's gonna leave with the car, then I'm gonna be stuck here for at least a couple hours and stuff like that. And so what originally the plan was supposed to be was he was supposed to dip out and get the boys back and then come back, and we were going to do our shopping at that point, but we just ended up leaving because we were exhausted and the baby was upset, and I was like, okay, well, I just want to get home, honestly, and I didn't want to wander around by myself because everybody else was like, yeah, I'm tired, I think I want to go, and I'm like, okay, well, there's no way I'm staying by myself. And so, thankfully I found my fiance before he left, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to come with you guys, because they want to leave, and I don't want to be alone, and yeah. And he was like, okay, yeah, it's fine. Well, yeah. So yeah, got the boys back, and then, I talked to their mom a little bit about, Halloween, because we kind of, we flip-flop holidays every year. So last year she had them for Halloween, so this year we get them for Halloween. And, we have to figure out, where we're gonna go take them trick-or-treating, but, my plan for, Halloween was to, we're gonna take them to the local spirit and let them choose their costumes and stuff like that. But Drake had worn a costume, his Halloween costume from last year to the Comic-Con, so, we were like, well, we'll, okay, you can go there, that's fine. And so his mom's like, well, you can just hold on to that until Halloween, and then if you don't need it, then just return it. And we're like, yeah, sounds good. So that way he has a chance to rewear the same costume if he wants to, or if he doesn't, if he wants to do something different when he's there and looking, we'll do that as well. But yeah, they're definitely getting to that age where they want to choose their own stuff, and I want to respect that 100%. So yeah, we'll take them. So it's our plan over the next couple weeks. It's just that we're gonna take all the kids to Spirit and then figure out Halloween costumes for the boys, and then figure out a Halloween costume for little Miss. Because technically, yeah, she was out of me for this last Halloween, but we didn't do anything with her, because it was just gonna be us and her, because the boys were with their mom last year, so we're like, well, I mean, she's so little, it didn't make sense. She was only 6 months old or something like that. So we're like, you know what, let's not worry about Halloween this year, and we'll just do it next year. So this will be her technical first Halloween. First Halloween of actually going out and wearing a costume and doing stuff. So yeah, we're trying to figure that stuff out and everything. And then we also gotta do pumpkin carving and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyways, so yeah, dropped the boys back off, and then we got home, and we instantly laid Sydney down for her nap because she was grumpy. Like, she was just crying up a storm, like, yeah, I hate this. Like, we stopped at Tim Hortons and Dunkin' Donuts on the way so I could get my coffee, he could get his coffee, and yeah, she was just not having it. She's like, no, you guys get me home now. I want to sleep. And so yeah, we got home, laid her down, we drank our coffee, and then we laid down for a little bit. But then, of course, like, as soon as we laid down, she was up immediately, and we're like, oh, come on. So, yeah. So neither of us actually ended up napping that day. We're like, okay, well, it's gonna be early bedtime then. You know, I say that most nights, and then it just doesn't happen most nights. So yeah, So yeah, then the rest of that day was just like, yeah, we're not doing anything, we're relaxing, we're just, yeah. We're just doing us. If I can flip this around again. Come on. See if that works. Left-handed doesn't work. Okay. There we go. Maybe that'll help. Okay. And then... So yeah, then we get to Sunday, and we're like, yep, it's our day. We're just kind of relaxing. And I don't remember. I think he slept in on Sunday. Pretty sure that's how it went. No, I slept in on Sunday because, like, I hadn't gotten a day to sleep in, and I've been getting up with her because, you know, it's in office days and everything like that. So I was like, okay, well, I'm sleeping Sunday. So I slept in on Sunday, and I don't even remember what time I got up, but, you know, got up, and, like, even though, like, we were just trying to have a relaxing day at home, but, like, Sydney, she was just really grumpy and stuff like that, so we didn't exactly have a relaxing day. So I think she was, like, still dealing with, like, overstimulation from the previous day and stuff like that. So yeah. Oh yeah, I had to do homework on Sunday. That's what it was. I was like, I know I didn't get the chance to actually relax. Yeah, I had to do homework because, you know, the week had been so busy, and we were reading the Colleen Hoover book for my class, and I had to finish it, and I think I was, like, halfway through it, but thankfully, like, okay, just making sure. Seemed very, waggy. Oh my goodness, sorry. That one. Yeah, so I had to finish, like, half of it, but thankfully it's, like, an easy read, so it's just, I just powered through it and stuff, and yeah, I read through it as quickly, like, I read through it, had the book finished before the boys came back to us, but then realized that my classmate made me realize that we had to do our response paper for it, and that was due on Monday, and I was like, oh, crap. So I was like, well, I have to do that too. So finished the book, did the response paper on Monday, because I was like, once I finished the book on Sunday, I was like, no, I just want to relax. I'm exhausted. I can only do so much in a day. And so, yeah. So I got the book finished, and, like, I'm sorry if you like Colleen Hoover, but I did not enjoy that book at all. Like, the story was good, but, like, it was one of those situations, so we did reminders of him, and it's basically, like, a story about a woman who is trying to get her daughter back after she got out of prison. And, like, I feel like, and it's a romance, so, like, of course the romance, it's like a an enemies to lovers trope of the friendship, or of the romance, and honestly, I feel like what Colleen Hoover should have done was focus more on the battle of kind of getting her daughter back rather than the romance, because it's like we had, like, 4 chapters of them hooking up, and then the end of the book was just like squeezed into like a couple of chapters, and it's like all that happens in the, well, I don't want to give spoilers away, but basically a lot of stuff happens, and it's like all glazed over because they didn't spend enough time like fleshing it out. It's like, oh, this happens, okay, now this happens, okay, now this happens, and everybody lives happily ever after. It's like, wait, what? That's it? Like, what the heck? So yeah, I was not pleased with that. I don't like the rushed feeling of it and stuff like that. And then of course, you know, we talk about it in class and everything like that, and like everybody in the class agreed. Like, we're like, nah, this was not okay what they did. Okay, gonna take a sip real quick. And give myself hiccups in the process. So yeah, I went on Goodreads, and I think I gave it a 2-star review. I think. I can't remember. Maybe it was only 1 star, but still. I thought for a bit I was going to be able to get into it, and then it knocked me out of it again. And I was just not okay with it. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I did on Sunday, because I was like, oh crap, now I have to do all this, like, get caught up on homework and stuff like that, and I tried to do too much last week, and I'm paying for it. Horribly paying for it. So yeah, my brain's trying to focus on these symbols right now. So yeah, and then Sunday evening we got the boys back like usual. Excuse me. So, I mean, that was just a typical, like, they come back, get them in bed, move on with our day. So yeah, we, so yeah, the rest of the Sunday was pretty normal, and then, like, I think we ended up just, like, going, like, I think we just ended up going upstairs and, like, laying down for a bit, because we were just so tired. Yeah, Shadow. Is this because I have the blanket on my lap and you want my lap? Yeah, I think that's what it is. Well, there you go. There's our little seizure kitty who just did it to scare the crap out of mommy. I swear. So yeah, and then Monday hits again, and you know, we're back to the back to school routine, so the boys have to get on. No, you're not getting up here. I love you, but no. Just staring at me, weirdo. Okay. Go lay somewhere else. Anyways. Yeah, so Monday is back to school routine. Because, you know, you have to get up at 7:30 every day, get boys on the bus and everything, and then, of course, like, with them getting up and making noise in the morning, Sydney's been waking up at 7:30, and so we're just kind of... we're just adjusting to that again. Now he's over yelling at my fiance. It's hilarious. So yeah, yeah, so, like, of course, we're starting our week off extremely exhausted, because, like, all we did was go last week with building the costume and stuff like that. So we're like, oh my gosh, we didn't get any recoup time. So now it's like this entire week has just been like complete. It's been rough. Let's just say that much. It's been a rough week. We're pushing through though. So yeah, I got the boys on the bus without too much stress, and then I think I woke up with Sydney. I woke up with Sydney on Monday morning, and then I was like, okay, I gotta do this homework, and I, like, was looking at other assignments I had to do, and I was like, oh my god, I have so much to do right now. It's like, no, I just want to relax. But yeah, I got my response paper done and turned in, and, like, once I finished it, like, I think I do this a lot, though, like, because my fiance double checks my work and everything like that. And I do this a lot where it's like, I think this was like the worst thing I ever written, and then he like reads it over, he's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I'll believe you, but, you know, I feel like it was the worst thing I ever written. So yeah. we were, so yeah, got that done, got that turned in before my class, and then we went out to my class. And like, you know, it was rough, man. It was rough. So yeah, I got out to class, did our schedule of coming back, and like, of course, like, my class is like, gets out at 3:20, and my boys' bus gets here at 4, and it's a half an hour drive. So like, we're literally like down to the wire getting home in time for the bus, and like, I'll get there, but like, today's bus was actually arrived at like the moment after we walked in the door, so I was like, oh gosh, that was close. But yeah, we got home, got the kids off the bus, or yeah, once we got home, I would just kind of like look at him, I'm like, I'm gonna go lay down, I'm exhausted, I need to lay down. And so he was like, yeah, it's fine. So I went upstairs, I laid down, and was that? Yeah. So was able to take a little nap because, like, you know, I'm getting exhausted to the point where I'm like been getting nauseous and stuff like that from not sleeping, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so bad. And so, and it's not like I'm going to bed super late right now either. I am going to bed earlier, but I think it's just because our bodies aren't catching up from last week at all. So it's just like I'm just overexerting my body right now. So yeah, I took a nap. I got up and I was feeling much better when I got up, which worked out well for me. So I was able to make it through the rest of the evening and stuff like that, and, you know, got baby girl in bed, and then the boys got to go outside and play with the neighbor girls, which was awesome. And like, we were realizing that, you know, with the time of year it is and stuff like that, it's getting dark while they're outside playing still. And we're like, man, we need to teach them like Ghosts in the Graveyard or like Prison Break or like games like that from our childhood. If you guys played those games, let me know. But yeah, it's like, man, they're out there in the dark. Just give them a flashlight and they could have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, when they came in on Monday, we were like telling them about those games and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, can you show us tomorrow? Like, we'll see where we're at tomorrow. Spoiler alert, we are not in a good spot tomorrow. So yeah, sorry, there's like a glare, so I'm having a little trouble seeing. Okay, it's all down there. So yeah, Tuesday, it was just me and Sydney. My fiance had to be in the office on Tuesday, as usual. Tuesday, Thursdays are in office days, but of course, you know, this week is his collaboration week at work and stuff like that, and so he needed to be in the office today, being Wednesday as well, which is, I still think is done. It's all done. He should be able to work from home. He's a technical writer. He doesn't need to be in the office, but, you know, whatever. So, hold on, I need to pause. Okay, I am sorry about that. Apparently the neighborhood cat decided to make a reappearance for the first time in God knows how long, and Shadow is our defender of the house, so he was yelling at him and stuff. So yeah, you might hear him yell a little bit more, but I think the cat left, so. Where was I? I think I was on, yeah, so I started on Tuesday. Yeah, so Tuesday was my fiance's in-office day, so we were... Jesus. The cat attacked the other cat outside, just ran up and slammed into the door. Yeah, you tell him, Shadow. See, when he gets like this, we don't dare mess with him because he will attack us next, so. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous, this cat. What was that? You woofed! My cat just barked! Okay, well, I'm gonna try to, like, power through here without getting too distracted. So yeah. Tuesday. This cat. So yeah, it was just me and Sydney home on Tuesday, and of course, you know, like, exhaustion is at its peak and stuff like that, and I was like, well, I should lay down when she lays down for a nap, but I didn't, because, I don't know, I like to torture myself. I think Tuesday, like, I was powering through trying to finish Pumpkin Dragon, so, like, I didn't want to lay down, because I was like, no, I can finish this, I want to get this finished, and then I can nap, and stuff like that, so, yeah, it was just, yeah, it was just a long day, but, yeah, I got Sydney down, like, she went down for her nap like usual. She didn't nap for nearly as long as she usually does. And so she was kind of like just grumpy, and by the time my fiance got home, like, oh my god, I need to go lay down. I'm like, I can't anymore. So yeah, I did end up going upstairs and laying down for a little bit, and then, you know, I laid down before the boys got home. So like, boys got home off the bus, and then there's a lot of chaos, or yeah. And then, like, after that, there's, like, a bunch of chaos and stuff like that, because Sydney was, yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening, like, Chard was trying to get some chores done, Sydney was being a chaotic mess like she usually is, because, you know, when we try to do dishes and put dishes in the dishwasher, she likes to take the dishes back out of the dishwasher, and so, like, my fiance asked Alex, like, hey, can you keep an eye on your sister just for a little bit, like, literally all, it was like 6 minutes, I think, or 7 minutes or something like that. It's like, yeah, just a couple minutes, just keep your eye on your sister. And then, of course, you know, boys being the video gamers that they are, he's like, oh, can I keep playing my game? And it's like, well, yeah, if you can focus on two at once, or both at once. And it was all chaos. All I know is when I woke up, there was like a loud noise, and then Sydney started crying, and I was like, wait, what's happening? Did my child just like hurt herself or what? And so I went downstairs and I asked what happened, and I was like, oh, well, Dad went outside and closed the door loudly, and Sydney was upset. I'm like, oh, okay. So I grabbed Sydney from Alex and just kind of, like, soothed her a bit. I'm like, it's okay, you're fine. And then, like, got the story from my fiance when he came back in. Like, yeah, he's like, yeah, I was trying to do dishes. And then I got a phone call, and I was trying to take the phone call, but then she was being crazy, and, like, yeah, it's like, that was one of those moments, like, I reminded him once again, I don't care if I'm asleep, like, if you need me, come get me. But yeah. Actually, I'm not gonna do this one, I'm gonna do this one. So yeah, we, words, there we go. But yeah, at that point I was just like, well, I'm not going to bother trying to go upstairs and go back to lay down, or try to take another, or fall back asleep and stuff, because I'd, like, just fallen asleep, and then all that happened. I was like, okay, well, that's not happening. So yeah, and then, of course, like, apparently, like, Alex was asking a million questions, because he's got, like, a friend on the bus who lives down the road, and he's been wanting to, like, have a play date with him, and it's like, well, we need, like, parent information so we can set that up. And so, and then, of course, like, he was asking if we could do that yesterday, and then, like, on top of it with, like, all the unhelpfulness and stuff like that, it's like, okay, well, that's not going to happen. And then, like, immediately after, he's like, well, can we do this instead? And it's like, oh my gosh, stop. It's like, okay, let us get our bearings first, and then we'll figure out what is going to be a thing we do this afternoon. What the thing ended up being was they went outside and played with the girls again. But, of course, you know, the drama begins. It's just the drama. So the boys went outside and started playing with the girls, and I think Drake was overtired at that point. When the boys are at their mom's house, they don't have as strict of a bedtime schedule as they do over here, so they tend to get a lot less sleep over there, and it shows. It definitely shows, especially in Drake. He gets very moody when he's tired, which, you know, same. But yeah, we were like going through, so we're like, me and my fiance are just sitting in here chilling, like relaxing, like baby's asleep, boys are outside, we're like, okay, so we get a breather finally. And then Drake's outside yelling, ow, 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 ow. And we're like, oh, great, here we go. And, like, he's, like, making a big stink over his hand and stuff like that. And, like, my fiance called out to him. He's like, are you okay? And he's like, Alex broke my fingers. And I was like, wait. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, no, because I think you'd be in a lot more pain, or you'd be yelling a lot louder than that and stuff like that. Which, side note on that, and we're, like, talking the other day about the neighbor, and his, like, he's broken his hand, like, twice this year. So we were talking about that, because, like, like, the second time he broke his hand ended up happening over the weekend or something like that. Because we asked if the girls could come out and play, like, and they're like, no, they're a little bit in trouble. So yeah, anyways, so yeah, he heard, like, broken hand from that, and then he just, like, I guess, like, he just picks things up like that. And if you hear him talk, or both kids actually do it, if they, like, you tell them about, like, one little thing, and then the next time, like, they're like, oh, well, this hurts, I think it's this, and it's like, well, no, it's not that, because that would be more extreme. But, so yeah, we told Drake to come inside, and, like, you know, he's, of course, making a big stink and trying to grab his shoes. I'm like, just leave the shoes and get inside. And then he came in, and, like, my fiance had him do all, like, the hand motions and stuff, like, okay, can you bend your fingers this way? Can you do this with them? Can you do this? Make a fist. Do this. Stretch it out. He's fine. Yeah, he's fine. And then, like, we were trying to figure out what happened, and, like, he's like, yeah, I was laying down on the trampoline and Alex rolled over me. And it's like, okay, well, it'd be very hard to break your fingers that way. Like, extremely hard. I mean, it's doable, obviously. I mean, it can happen, but it's just, yeah, it's very hard. So we basically gave him one or two options because he was being really ridiculous about it. We're like, well, you can either choose to sit inside quietly with no TV and no Switch, or you can go back outside. Or no, I wasn't sitting inside quietly. It was, you know, go to bed, or you can go back outside and play nicely with everybody. And he chose to go back outside. And, like, within a few minutes, he didn't even remember his hand was hurting. So we're like, okay, all good. So yeah, he went back out, and they ended up playing a bunch more, and everybody was fine, and drama was over. But it was just like, oh my goodness, he broke my finger. Like, it's like, dude, you'd be screaming a lot louder if your finger was actually broken. So yeah, so that was yesterday's drama. And then today we had a lot going on today. So like I said, like, the collaboration week for my fiance's work is happening this week. So he had to be in the office for, like, half the day, because, like, thanks to my school schedule, he's able to come home earlier, because it would be a full day. But it's like, no, I need to be out of class at this time, so yeah, we need the car here, because we only have one car. And so, so yeah, so he got home, like, around noonish or something like that, and, like, he got home just as, like, Sydney was waking up. No, he got home around 12:30ish. So yeah, we got Sydney up from the nap, and then he ate lunch, and I was going to eat lunch, but I was, like, dealing with a lot of anxiety because tonight was the they do, like, a ice cream social, like, get to know the teachers and stuff like that. They usually do it before school starts, but for some reason this year they did it after school started. So we had that at the boys' school, and we're like, you know, we had a little bit of issue with the boy's mom yesterday because, you know, like, we're still working on getting the car out of her name because we're car shopping right now for a bigger vehicle because, you know, we have 3 kids in the back of a Ford Edge, and it just doesn't work very well. So we're looking into bigger cars and stuff like that. So we're in the process, like, literally, like, he knows what car he wants at this point because my fiance is very particular about his cars. So yeah, he knows what car he wants, and so we're gonna finally, like, go look and test drive one and see if we can get our hands on one. And, like, this is the process we've been doing and everything like that. And so like last week, I think it was, the boy's mom's boyfriend totaled her car driving home and hit a deer, and car got totaled because, you know, deer do that to your cars. So like now she's like getting very like she's getting antsy because she's like, this needs to get off my credit score, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, you still have something that needs to come off of our list. So we at least kind of kept her quiet with that. But, you know, then she's like, well, I don't want Mackenzie driving the car because she's not an insured driver on it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, like, that's not your decision to make, first off. That's really not your decision to make. But, you know, it's not like I drive often anyways. Like, I do as much as I can to avoid driving because I hate driving. It's just, it's so anxiety inducing for me, and I don't like it. So if I don't have to drive somewhere, I won't. So, so yeah, we were dealing with that last night, and then of course, like tonight, we're like, okay, well now we're gonna have to deal with her because, you know, she's gonna want to be there, and they're just gonna have her fake face on and stuff like that, and just, it's not. And then like I was worried like she's gonna say something to us there, and like I'm getting to the point where I'm not gonna be able to hold my tongue anymore, and I'm like, like it was a lot of stress. So like lunchtime, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not even hungry right now. Like, I can't eat anything. I can't. If I eat something right now, I'm probably gonna throw up. So I skipped out on lunch today. And then, so like he got himself fed, Sydney fed, and all that, and then we geared up to get out to college and stuff for my class. And today we were going over like a short story. It was like a sci-fi short story. It was an interesting story, and like it definitely led some interesting discussions and stuff like that. And like I'm kind of bummed I had to miss out on this, but the writer of the story was at the college tonight speaking and answering questions and stuff like that, because like I really wanted to know like what this character's like gender was, because that was like one of the biggest things. Is like, this is like, it was it was a first person point of view, and we didn't know the guy's gender. Okay. Pulled up some tag questions, but I don't think I'm gonna have time to do those at this point. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Shadow, you're fine. The kitty's not out there anymore. What was I talking about? Oh my god, that was so bad. Oh yeah, the gender of this character, because it was a first person point of view, and like as we were having the discussion, we were like the teacher realized that at first when she was setting up the discussion question, she's like, well, yeah, and then you realize that this character has no gender, and we're like, and like she like asked what we assumed and stuff like that, and I was like, well, like I think a good half of us assumed a guy, another like few of us just thought it was a female, and then like all the rest of them thought it was just non-gender. It was just like that interesting thing, because I didn't even think about that when I was reading through it. Well, I was listening to it, but yeah, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, that raised an interesting like discussion point, and I would have liked to have a chance to like ask questions to the writer and figure out, you know, like some things about like the story and the world and stuff like that he built. But the boys' open house was more important than that, so I made sure to go to that instead. So yeah, we did our, so then got done with class, got home literally like seconds before the boys, so we didn't even have a chance to sit when we got home. And then of course, like, you know, earlier in the day, so like the school also does like lunch with a loved one, and so the boy's mom was there with them today, and then she was like telling us about like a rash that Alex had on his leg and stuff like that. And it was funny too, because like the way she was wording everything, we're like, wait, how do you know about this? Like, you didn't even see him today. And it's like, oh wait, yeah, you did. You went and had lunch with him. Whoops. So yeah. But yeah, we're like, yeah, we'll see what it looks like when he gets home. We'll assess it and then determine if he needs to go to the doctor at that point. So he gets home, and sure enough, he's got this big ass rash on him, and we're like, oh great, here we go, because he had poison ivy over the summer. and one of his friends just went to urgent care with poison ivy and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, well, we should get him checked out. Yeah, the doctor wasn't, that's like half a drill. The doctor didn't he couldn't confirm if it was like poison ivy or just dermatitis or whatnot, but it's okay because they treat them both the same and they determined he's not contagious anymore, or that's not going to be contagious. So we just got some lotion, some cream to put on it, and just basically putting that on there until it heals up, and it's it helps. It's like an anti-itch thing too, so it should help him with the itchiness and stuff. So yeah, that was so yeah, we already knew we were doing the open house tonight, ice cream social open house, and then just suddenly okay, now we gotta call the doctor, and we figured we'd probably be getting him in tomorrow, but no, it was my fiance called the doctor and he's like, oh yeah, we have an appointment in 15 minutes, and he's like, oh. And then he came upstairs and he's like, because I was laying down again just trying to recoup and stuff, and he's like, well, the doctor can get him in 15 minutes. I'm like, well then do it, let's get this in and checked out immediately, because we gotta make sure it's because we don't know if Sydney's allergic to poison ivy yet or not, and don't want to risk her getting it and stuff like that, and we don't want to risk Drake getting it, so it's yeah, just go ahead and get him in and checked out and make sure everything's okay. So yeah, so that was once again an immediate turn right back around and go out, and then they got back, and then that was my point where I got a couple minutes to myself. I think I got 10 minutes or something like that to myself to just kind of lay in bed by myself and just try to recenter myself. I missed one of these. Right, yeah, there it is. Oops. Yeah, so recentered myself, got myself situated and feeling better, and then got myself ready, and then pulled out an outfit for Sydney, because she was still in her jammies all day, because there's nothing wrong with being in your jammies all day. That's how I like to live my life, PJs all day long. So yeah, we you're not supposed to be in here. So yeah, got all ready, and then we headed out the door to go to the ice cream social, and then it's we were because the doctor appointment and everything was thrown in there and stuff. It's well, at this point we're just gonna have to get McDonald's on the way home for dinner, because honestly we don't have time to cook anything at this point, and yeah, we just need to go. So we went to the school. Oh yeah, I didn't finish what I was saying about the boy's mom. So yeah, she ended up not being able to come tonight because she had to work. And so I was like, okay, cool. As soon as I was told that, my stomach was in knots, and it felt like the knot just completely unraveled. And I was like, okay, good, because I was not looking forward to having to deal with it tonight. I didn't have the energy for it. I just couldn't do it. So we went, and we went to Drake's classroom first, and Drake's teacher is the same teacher that Alex had a couple years ago, or a year ago. He's been in his new class for a year, because the school district the boys go to, they are with one teacher for 2 years before moving up. And so now Drake's in the same class that Alex was in, so we stopped by his teacher first and chatted with her a bit, and I got to introduce myself and stuff, and I mean, it was so sweet too. And they're like, oh yeah, the boys tell us all about you, and I'm like, what? They talk about me? Hopefully good things. So yeah, we got to go around and meet all the teachers, and then got to introduce the teachers to their future pupil when she gets to that age too, because they're like, yeah, she'll be coming through soon as well. And so we got to meet, because they're in middle school or elementary school right now, but they have separate teachers for certain classes and stuff like that. So they have 2 separate teachers throughout the day, and then they have or 2 teachers for core classes, I guess I should say, because I think it's math and science is with one teacher and the rest is with another teacher or something like that. And then we got to meet their Spanish teacher, their music teacher, and the art teacher. and got to learn a little bit of what they have been doing in each class. And it was so funny too, because when we were in the Spanish teacher's room, they were telling us they're doing a project on a Spanish-speaking country. Drake said he's doing his on Venezuela, and Alex is doing his on Argentina. And I looked at the boys. I'm like, so do you know what month it is? And then Drake, of course, being Drake, he goes, it's September. I'm like, well, technically that's right, but no. Do you know what is happening right now? And then they're doing all these wild guesses, like your birthday, Dad's birthday. It's like, well, no, well, technically, yes, Dad's birthday was a couple weeks ago, but it's like, you guys didn't remember having cupcakes on Dad's birthday? And Drake's like, oh yeah. And I was like, no, it's Hispanic Heritage Month. And they're like, oh, didn't know that. So that was pretty funny. It's September. That kid, oh my gosh. He's going to be the biggest smartass someday. I can see it now. It's going to be hilarious. So yeah, we got to go around there, and then they also had us go see the library, which I totally understood the librarian's point. She's like, yeah, I just had a little one, and I had to leave her and come here, and and she's like, oh, mine's this old. I'm like, oh yeah, Sydney's only not much older, because I think she said her kid was 16 months, and I was like, oh yeah, Sydney's almost 18 months, so I completely understand. And she's like, yeah, it's been so hard being back to work. I'm like, yeah, I know. I went to work for a month, and I was like, nope, not doing this anymore. I've been a stay-at-home mom ever since. So yeah, we went to their library, went to the gym, and the boys were running around like crazy in the gym and stuff like that, and I set Sydney down to see if she would start running too, and she just was looking around like, wait, what am I supposed to do now? Girl had been begging to get down this whole entire the whole entire time we were walking around and stuff, and then when I finally let her down, she was stood there okay, I don't know what to do now. And then the gym was our last stop before the cafeteria where the ice cream was, so we went to the cafeteria, got our little bit of ice cream, and then once that was done, we headed out. And then we went to pick up McDonald's, but of course, the McDonald's is right around the corner from the school, so every parent had the same idea, and we were waiting in line forever, and then we're like, well, we're right near CVS, let's go pick up Alex's prescription, so that way you don't have to run back out later, and stuff like that. And so, we ran over to CVS, and then, of course, the prescription was, just barely ready. It's oh, it'll be another second, and then it was, 5 minutes later, and it finally came out, so, of course, I was in the car with the boys and Sydney, and she was starting to get a little fussy and stuff. It was okay, we need to hurry up and get her home. And plus, I want to get home and eat my food, because I'm starving, because I didn't eat lunch. I had yogurt. I did eat a yogurt when I got home from school, because I realized when I started almost falling asleep in class, I'm ooh, I'm not in good shape right now. So yeah, we got our food, and then we got the prescription, and then we came home, and we got the boys set up with dinner, and then, of course, we finished eating, super late tonight, so, it was just a late night in general, just because, of everything going on and stuff, but, yeah, at least things can calm down now. And not be so crazy and chaotic. So yeah, and that was my day, and now here I am, and I was oh, I have to film this WIP and Chat, and I was originally the plan was when we got home, we were gonna film it and get it immediately up, but then we realized by the time I had the energy to actually sit up and do it, because I was laying on the couch for a little bit, by the time we had the energy to do it, I was well, it's not getting up tonight, so I do apologize once again for the late WIP and Chat again this week. I will try not to make a habit of it. I mean, next week should be easier. Next week is going to be a major recoup week for us. We need to relax next week. And this weekend. Hopefully we can relax a little bit this weekend. Hi, Shadow. So yeah, we got to that. We're actually to that point where we texted my mother-in-law. We're would you be willing to just snag the boys from us for an evening just so we can have a break? And so she's gonna take them on Friday and that she's gonna like have dinner with them and just keep them out of her hair for a couple hours so we can just relax. Some much needed relaxation. So yeah. So yeah, what's coming up? I don't have my schedule over here. I put together a little schedule. I think I have an unboxing scheduled for the end of this week. Or my Merida stuff, my Princess Panel stuff. 'Cause like I have a blah blah blah, words are hard. I have the unboxing for my Merida Princess Panel as well as the kitting up of it. I will admit I have not touched it in a while because I've been focusing on Pumpkin Dragon, plus I've just been too tired to even like haven't had the brain power to work on it. So hopefully later this week or hopefully this weekend I'll get the energy and the ability to work on it. Hopefully. Once again, can't make any promises, but I do have like the unboxing and stuff. I think that's what I have planned for this week. I don't remember. My schedule's over on my desk over there, and yeah. So yeah, I do have videos planned. I'm basically trying to post like every other day, minus like weekends being like times where there's not going to be a lot of posts. So yeah, and then I will have a small shop haul coming soon. I think the rest of my stuff is I think like it's estimated to be here on Saturday. So if it's there on Saturday, if it's here on Saturday, it might be like an early next week video, just because I want to get these small shops spotlighted, because I have 2 of them I technically haven't purchased from before, and I say technically because I did receive another Bijou Bliss tray, but that was a birthday present. I didn't purchase that. That was a gift from my dear friend Rax. So technically I did my first purchase with Bijou Bliss, even though it's my second thing I own from them. And then my cover reminders from Galloway's Gallery. So yeah. And then of course it's just more random putty and some glue dots, because I didn't get to buy anything at the convention, so I asked my fiance, I'm like, can I get some glue dots instead? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, how many? He's like, and I told him like the price of them individually. He's like, you can get 4. I'm like, sweet, because I had 4 in there that I was like, ooh, I want this one. So yeah. I gotta sneeze. Let's put this cap on here. I don't want to lose drills. I'm sorry. Okay. Got the cap on in time. Whew, we're good. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, just keep your eyes out on videos this week, and then hopefully next week we are back to a normal schedule and life is better. I do have some fall tag questions that Diamond Paintings by Laura did that I'm intrigued to answer, and I want to steal some from Katie, Diamonds and Washi, from her Drills and Chills video, so I'm probably going to be doing that over the next couple weeks. Just because I love fall and Halloween and stuff, and now my nose is all nice and all nasally. Great. So yeah, that should be the end of this video. I lost a drill. There we go. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and throw me a comment. Let me know how things are going for you. I asked a question earlier. I don't remember what it was now. That's what happens. Yeah. And let's throw up an emoji of like cat or animal. Yeah, let's do a cat related thing because of our lovely little cat fight we had going here earlier, which he is still by the window staring outside looking for that other cat. And yeah, if you're not already subscribed here and you listen to me ramble for an hour, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button down there because you'll definitely like it here. And then you want to hit that bell to be notified whenever I post new videos. Generally, WIP and Chats are supposed to go up on Wednesdays, but I've been bad about it lately. Other things like small shop hauls, post reviews, unboxings, those are kind of at random right now, so you definitely want to hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!